So we want to start our today's session, and still we are at introduction level, and I hope that we were all able to install ArcGUI and ArcStudio. And in case maybe you got any kind of technicalities, please let me know before we can start. Yes, Anne.
Hi, I wasn't part of yesterday's lesson, so I wanted to know if it will be a hindrance for me today because I've not yet installed.
Okay, there's a link I shared with regards
Okay.
to the same. I don't know if you saw in the group.
Let me just review.
Okay, yeah, I think
Okay.
let me check. Don't know which. I think I shared yes, just immediately after class.
I've seen it there. Studio Desktop download link.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So allow me to share my screen. And I'm sorry, yesterday's recording, I don't know why there was no audio. That's why I didn't share. But today I have ensured that everything is working well. So we will get the recordings as usual after the class so that we can follow up. So today we are going to start by looking at the interface so that you understand. And specifically, I want you to understand the difference between ArcGUI, Graphical User Interface, and ArcStudio. Uh, and to enhance understanding, we are just going first of all to do some basic practical, very basic, so that after we do the same thing in ArcStudio and we repeat it in ArcGUI, you will be in a position now uh, to understand to understand it better, the difference between the two softwares like the ArcGUI and ArcStudio. But yesterday I said that before you install ArcStudio, you need to install ArcGUI because it is like a backbone, like ArcStudio, which is the development environment, runs under ArcGUI. So we are going to see how the two uh, how the two interfaces look like. Then after that, for the rest of the session, until the end of this unit, we'll be working with ArcStudio, but it is just necessary to understand both. So I want us to launch ArcGUI first. So in my laptop, I think my ArcGUI is here somewhere. In my laptop, it is here. I hope you can see, you can still locate where your ArcGUI is. Mine is here. I can just double click it to open. I hope you can see it. Just double click it to open. I don't know if you can see it. When you double click to open, there is a window. Just a minute. When you open it, you will see this window. So I hope we are together. So first of all, I want to explain the meaning of the word GUI. That's GUI. GUI stands for what called graphical user interface. GUI stands for what called graphical user interface, and it is just a visual way of interacting with a computer. Maybe when you are using items such as icons, menus, and so on. So it is just a visual way in which you interact with your computer. So when you launch your ad GUI, let me first of all join with another device so that in case there's any question, I can easily know who has raised his or her hand. Okay, I think this is fine now. I can be able to easily identify in case there's any question. So I hope we are together. So when you open ad GUI, I'm trying to ensure there's no echo. When you open ad GUI, you can see, okay, thank you. So when you open ad GUI, you can see that it gives you the version of ad you are using. Like mine, I'm using version 4.22, 2022. It was released on October 31st. And as we say that R is an open source kind of software. So the first thing uh, is for us maybe to clear this window. This window is called the console window, and I'm going to explain what it means. And before even that, just allow me to share my white screen so that maybe I can be writing some keyboard shortcuts. I'm just trying to share my screen so that I can be able to be writing some keyboard shortcuts for easy explanation. Okay, just a minute. So this window is called the console window. Sorry for that. And the console window is where in R you can give it instructions at the same time you get the output in the same window. This window is called the console window. And the console window that you can see here, it has its own advantages and disadvantages. And also we are going to see that as time goes by. But maybe just to highlight is that the disadvantage is that when you make an error, when you are typing to give R some kind of instructions for it to be able to execute some commands, it will, like when you make an error, it is not easy to do any kind of editing. Uh, that's why we are going to see that it is difficult to work using this window, and therefore we are going to see alternative windows that we can use. So the first thing, I want us to clear this console window. And to clear it in your keyboard, we use the control key. I'm not using my mouse, so I might not be writing properly. That's using the whiteboard properly, but it is control key in your keyboard, then plus sorry, control plus L, like control plus L. I'm not using my mouse, so it takes time to try and write the correct thing. So control plus L in your keyboard will clear the console window. So maybe you can type control L. See my console has been cleared. Okay. Other fields that I can explain, though we are going to go deeper into it. There's this section, the menu is called file. Um, when you go to file, there is what called the I'll be explaining the crucial things that you need mostly in your work. We have what called the script. We are going to learn about what called the script window. Uh, then also we have what called the exit, among many others. This similar, we are going to meet them in the similar icons we are going to meet in the Art Studio interface. Then also there's an edit window where whereby you can, if you make an error, you can clear console, you can select, you can copy and paste, among many others. But another critical window is the help window. Like if you want to ask any questions with regards to FAQs on art, that's frequently asked questions, FAQs on art for Windows. If you want to read manuals, you can get them there. You can see introduction to art, reference, data import, stock export, art language definition, among many others. You can see there's a search help when you are stuck. But I'm not going deeper into it when we are using the art GUI because we are going to cover it mostly in art studio. So I want us to do some kind of basic mathematics in art in the console window. So you can see this what you call the command prompt. The command prompt is this red icon, the one that is written like this one. So the command prompt is okay, something like this, an inverted V. That's the command prompt. Then in front of the command um, prompt, we have something like this. It is like a vertical kind of a figure on. So that is where you write your commands. But this command prompt, this one, will always be there. It shows you where you start. You need to start writing your your commands. So I want us to do a simple one. Just type 1 plus 1 in your keyboard. Let me try to see if I can zoom so that you will be able to. I go to edit GUI preferences. I want to increase I want to zoom a bit. I hope that is a bit visible. So when I write 1 plus 1, then I want to execute it. Sorry. If you want to execute it to give you an output, you will press Control Enter in your keyboard. Maybe I come back to my whiteboard, use the Control key, Control. Let me just type CTR. Sorry. Plus Enter. Like you use it, you press um, the two keys together in your keyboard, the Control and Enter key, then the code will be executed. Then you'll get an output of 2, as you can see here. Then I think another question someone might ask, what's the purpose of that bracket 1 bracket? So we will look at it when we will learn what you call indexing. We will get to know what that one means. So one thing you can see the learning point here, as I was saying, that we are just looking at the interface. We haven't, we are just trying to understand these windows, how they work. So you see, we have type 1 plus 1, press Control Enter, then it has given us an output of 2 in the console window. The next item, now the problem with this window, in case I make a mistake, it's very difficult to edit. Even if I want to go back and edit here, it's very difficult. I can't edit. And therefore, there's another window called the editor of the script window that will give us an opportunity to be able to do any kind of editing that we need. So Okay, I think maybe given that you are using that's my call, you are using the latest version of Arc because they keep on improving. That's why without control, you still get an output. And even when we go to Arc Studio, we are going to see that it is not a must use the keyboard shortcuts. We will just get the run button on top there that will make our lives very easier in case maybe you are not good in mastering those keyboard shortcuts and so on. Thank you for that. So the next one, I want us to go to file. There's an icon here indicated as file. I hope we can all see. When you click on it, a pop-up window appears. A pop-up window appears. What we are interested in is on what called new script. Is what called new script. That is item number 2. When you click on it, you see there's a window that has been opened. Maybe we can try to, is it to minimize? Sorry, where has it disappeared? I want both of them. I want to see both the console window. This is the console that we used. Where has the script window disappeared? Sorry. Is there a question? Is it a question?
It's just some guidance.
Okay.
Okay, we can get both windows by going to the Windows tab, then saying cascade or tile
Where?
on the Windows tab.
Oh, here.
Just
Oh,
after packages window, then you just say cascade.
here.
Yeah, when I say cascade on my screen, no, just on the same R GUI interface.
Okay.
Then there's the Windows tab there at the top.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm
After
getting it.
file, yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you
yeah.
for that. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sorry. This is the console, and I want the script. Sorry. This is the window I was looking at. So I haven't cleared anything. I think I saw someone in the group asking how did you clear. I think I haven't cleared anything with regard to the window that I have just opened. Unless Dennis, if you are asking the question on how we clear the console window when we started, is that the same question, Dennis, or you are referring to the current window with regards to the script based on? Okay, the first window I said you click on Control plus L in your keyboard. Control L, like you press together, then it clears. I hope that is clear. So, because we are just learning on the interface, um, the purpose of this, I just want to differentiate to you the difference between Arc GUI and Arc Studio, because we are going to repeat the same in Arc Studio. So in the script window, just type the same 1+1. Once you type 1+1, then to execute it, you press in your keyboard Control R. You let me try to erase this first. So in your keyboard, you press Control plus letter R. Control R together. You will be able to get the output. And this time round, the output has been shown in the console window and not again in the script or the editor window. Okay, we can also type maybe 2+2, then Control R. You see, it gives us 4 in the console window. Okay, there's another window that I want to show you, and I just want to introduce you to something that we learn later, uh, later on. I want you to come with a name called cells. Cells, and these cells, we do have what's called an assignment operator. This is, yes, Caleb.
Hi, would you kindly repeat? I was having trouble with my machine. How to display the console
Okay,
at the bottom there?
you come to Windows here, then you click on Cascade.
Okay.
Yes, when you click on it, you can even drag downwards, or you can drag one window on the other side and so on. So you can have all of it.
Um, I'm only seeing one, or is it hidden somewhere?
Or I understand, maybe you haven't yet opened. Which one is open? Like, do you have the Arc console or the editor?
It's the editor. No, sorry, the console. So the editor is what I'm referring to.
Oh, yeah. To open the editor, go to File, click on File,
Mhm.
then uh, New Script.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah. When you click, just open up.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other person with any kind of technicality? Okay. So just come with the name called cells. Uh, in these cells, I want us to assign some values, like to give it to some values. And there is what called an operators in R, we will learn later. But the assignment operator in R that we use normally is not the equal sign, no. It is the less than minus, sorry, less than um, minus sign. Let me put it in my whiteboard again. So get the less than in your keyboard, look for that symbol, less than. Then after you type, you press on less than, you'll now put the minus. These are minus, the normal in your keyboard. This is called assignment operator in R. As compared to Python and other languages that use equal sign, R uses this one, less than, minus. In your keyboard, the less than key, I think, is just after letter M. You'll get the less than. You click on shift, then where you have that symbol, then the minus is, I think that is very clear where you have it in your keyboard. So we are coming up with a variable called sense. So I want to introduce you to something early a bit, though we are going to cover, because whatever we are doing currently, the objective is just for you to understand how various windows work or interact with each other. So after you put the assignment operator in R, there's a function called concatenate. Concatenate is like to join together. And it is small c, like lowercase c. Then because it is a function, even in Excel, for instance, when you write equal to, even if you go to Excel that we are used to in your work, if you have ever used Excel, if you write, for instance, um, maybe you want to sum certain values, always, of course, when you start with an equal sign, then maybe if the sum, if you want to sum certain values, you must open the parentheses, put whatever you want, and close it. Whenever you open the bracket, it must be closed, because this sum is a function. That's why you are doing so. So even in R, the concatenate, the small c is a function. So the next thing we will open, what you call, these are called parentheses, not brackets, because we have square brackets, we have parentheses, we have curly brackets, and so on. So after that, we are going to put our values. Maybe the first cell we are having, maybe it was maybe 10 units. After 10, maybe we put 20 units, 30. We are separating them with commas. Then at the end of a function, we are going to put what? We are going to close the parentheses. So let us go back to our Ask GUI. So let us put maybe the first value 10. Let us just randomize, because this one is just to assist you understand. The first value is 10, 20, 30. Maybe let them be increasing by 10, then 40. Let us close the bracket, then press enter. The next thing, maybe let us come with cost, like the cost maybe incurred in selling units, 20, 30, and 40. Cost, again the same procedure, we assign it. Cost is also a variable. And always, we can even copy the cells, whatever we have written in cells first, then we just do editing to make our lives easier. That is another way to be more efficient. But I think maybe when you are beginning, Um, I think that maybe might not work for now. Let us just go progressively. Maybe the first cost incurred to sell 10 units maybe was 2, maybe this one 4, 5, 6. We must make sure also these one are how many items? 1, 2, 3, 4, like the one that we have on top there. Then you enter. After that, I want us to plot. I want us to plot sales against cost randomly, because the objective of this is that I want there's a window called the graphical window that is going to pop up. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not even looking at what we are doing because we will be coming there slowly. My objective is for you to understand various windows so that you can give your own judgment on how easy can someone work in R Studio as compared to R GUI. So plot, plot is a function in R that is used to come up with what you call a scatter plot. A scatter plot, mostly you will learn more in statistics unit. It is used to show the relationship between two variables. And these variables, one assumption, it is assumed that they are normally distributed and so on. So to come up with this, I want to plot sales against cost. And the main reason after I write plot, I open my parenthesis, or parenthesis, is because the function plot is also a function. And as I have explained, like here, when you are working with sum, when you are working with sum, you have to open the parenthesis and close, um, same as this plot, same as plot function. That's the plot. It is a function. It is all lowercase. You must open the parenthesis, put the first item, like for us sales, comma, cost. After that, you have to close the parenthesis. You have to close the parenthesis. So, and one thing about R is case sensitive. Like for instance, if you typed your cells starting with capital S and you come here on plot, then you type your cells, you mix up, it will give you an error because R is case sensitive. So you must be keen, especially on these variables like the cell and cost. Whatever you typed here, it should be the same as what appears here. So once you are done with all that, highlight everything. Highlight those 3 lines of code, sales, cost, and plot. Highlight everything in your keyboard, then control. I want us to execute this command, right? Control plus R, like control R. I want us to execute it, control R. I think it has gone the other way. I wanted the cells to be on the other axis. Sorry for that. Let me come and edit this one because I want cells to be on the Y axis. So I can just come and edit easily and repeat the process. Maybe now I can only repeat this line number, this line on plot. I can highlight Control R. Yeah, I think this one now is okay. Let me try to. Yeah, I want sales to be on the y-axis and cost to be on the x-axis. Yes, having done that on ArcGUI, I want to throw this question to, let me check. That is Hein. What can you say about the interface of ArcGUI so far?
I think it's quite actually user friendly and it's not very difficult to use so far. Very interesting working with it. I mean, being able to use 3 lines of code to create a graph. So that's pretty nice.
Okay, thank you so much, Hein, for that. That's according to you, it is user friendly. Let me pick another person. That's Belinda.
For me, I guess, like Kane said, it would be user friendly. It's just that if you don't know the formulas, no, not the formulas, the code. Like now, if you didn't know plot, it would not really help you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Let me pick another person. Kelvin Karani. What is your observation so far?
My observation is that R is dependent on your knowledge, uh, especially when it comes to the commands. You have to get the commands right. And also, I've noted that the editability is also limited in cases where you make errors. So you have to make sure that you get the commands correct.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah,
much
that's it.
all for, okay, thank you. Thank you all for your observations. So we have seen all about Arc Studio, sorry, Arc GUI. We are going to repeat the same process, the same process in Arc Studio. And we want to see and make now our verdict. So we have made our verdict, first of all, based on, like we have given our opinions based on one side of the story so far, which is good. Let us see the other side of the story. And I think after that now, we can have a general overview. Remember, the objective of this class is for us to understand the interface between the two. So I want a volunteer. Since my Arc Studio has a lot of information, I have been using it. Who can volunteer to to be sharing his screen so that I can guide? Okay, thank you, Collins. You can just open Arc Studio. Now, guys, you can close Arc GUI. Don't save anything. Just close all those windows and let us now open Arc Studio. You can just close everything on Arc GUI and launch Arc Studio, whereby you will double click. Collins, you will take us through. I'll guide you. Just share your screen. Maybe you can launch Arc. Uh, oh, you have it. Okay, that's okay. Yes, let it run and open. No, okay, sorry. Okay, it is fine. It is fine. Yes, guys, launch your Arc Studio the same way Collins has done before I start guiding you. Are we together, guys? You can give your reactions so that I can quickly see how far we are. Okay, thank you. So, the first thing, you can see the first window on our right. Sorry, is it left side? It is the same window we have seen in our GUI. It is called the console window. And we saw that to clear the console window in our GUI, the one we have just closed, we use Control L, right? But here, there's something that looks like a broom. Collins, if you take your cursor towards your top right in the Arc Studio, there's something that looks like a broom. Top right in this, no, in the console window, not that one, in the console window. The console window, yes, top right now. Yes, that one. So when you see when Collins clicks there, you can see it tells you clear console in bracket C Control plus L. Like it even shows you that you can either use this icon or you can use the shortcut, which is Control plus L. Are we together? So you can see it clearly tells you you can use that icon or use CTR plus L. So click on it, Collins. Yeah. So once you click on that icon, you can see that everything has disappeared. Okay, before I explain further, we have seen the console window and other windows. I'm going to explain them. I want us to open the script window. To open the script window in RStudio, Collins, go to File, then New File. Maybe repeat again so that we go a bit slow. You go to File, click on File, then a new pop-up window comes with other information on import data, recent projects, open projects, and so on. We will know how to use the project. But here I want us to open new file. Go to new file. When you go to new file again, another pop-up window comes telling you about the ARC script, the Quarto document, the ARC notebook, ARC markdown, Shiny web app, and so on. So what we are interested in is the ARC script. Click on ARC script, yes. Again, sorry, okay, it is fine. There was an icon, it is fine, Collins. There was an icon that was explaining that also you can do it by clicking. It was control what? Go to file, once more, file, new file. Yes, control shift N. Like you can press control shift N and automatically it leads you to the script window without going through all that procedure. That's fine, Collins. It is okay. We have it. We have the script. There's no need of opening another one. So let me explain some icons before maybe we repeat the same process. Today we just look at the interface then and there. Um, hmm. So the first thing, we have the file. Click on file, Collins. Okay. When you click on file, there's this area called new project. Like when we start the practicals, we are going to create our own project. the main reason of having a project folder, everything you are working in or everything you are working is stored in one area. Then another thing is import data set. If you want to import data from maybe other sources, you can use it, but it is not a must we use this one. There's another window with the same on our top right, you are going to see it. So we are going to interact with this part also as we progress with this R essential unit. Go to the next icon, then edit. On edit, if you want to copy, paste, undo, redo, whatever you want, that's what you get there. Then I just want to go to the most important. Plots, no, don't. Code is not necessary. On session, go to session. On session, whatever is important here, um, sometimes Arc Studio can hang. You might be required to interrupt it. You will be required maybe to terminate it. There's another thing you might need maybe to quit the session. Then there's what we call working directory. Working directory is very important to know it, especially when you want to import data. Your data must be stored in your working directory. And your working directory is just same as your folder. We will get to learn it. Then the important part again, go to tools. Go to tools. Yeah, on tools, I don't want to talk about packages now. I want us to, on tools, go to global options. Global options, yeah, just click on it. Just assist you to maybe set the appearance of your screen and so on. So I want us maybe to change the appearance of our screen. So on global options, go to appearance. When you go to appearance, you can change the theme, you can zoom, you can change the editor font, text, editor font size, and so on. Maybe what we can do, let us try to, in case you have eye problems and maybe you want to change the how your window looks like so that it becomes friendly, you come there. Maybe let us pick the cobalt on the editor theme, pick the cobalt. No, just come to the editor, then there is a list there: ambience, chaos, chrome, cobalt, and so on. Where, yeah, that one, click on it. So when you pick on cobalt, this is how your screen will look like. Maybe you can scroll using the scroll bar on your right, downwards, downwards, downwards. You can, if you want to use it, you can say okay, then apply. Yeah, so you see, your screen appearance has changed. Another window, today I'll give you about 5 minutes so that we can finish early. You do other things. A break, we will go for 5 minutes, but before that, go to help. Help, this is a situation whereby maybe you are stuck and you want to find help. You can go there. If you want to read more about Arc Studio, you can go there, about Arc Studio. If there are any kind of updates you need to know, you can go for check for updates. If you want Arc Studio documentation, Arc Studio community forum, in case you are stuck in anything, you can always get. Then there's this part of cheat sheets. I want you to click on cheat sheets. Yes, when you go to cheat sheet is like a summary of like it has some kind of templates. If you are stuck in anything, like if you want to do data transformation with DPLYR, DPLYR is a data science tool in R that is used for data transformation. ggplot2 is a data visualization tool used in R. If you want to do list manipulation, also we have the package development and so on. R Markdown cheat sheet. R Markdown is used especially if you want to come up with a document in form of a PowerPoint presentation, a Word document, and so on. That one you can use the R Markdown. Maybe you can try and download one in case your internet is faster. Just go to data visualization with ggplot2. It will lead you to a different window. Yeah, so you can see this is like a template. Whatever kind of visualization you want in R, it shows you the basics, like what you need to know, how to write the functions, and so on. So it is like a template you'll now be customizing based on your data. So you can see all those are just available within Arc Studio. Maybe you can go back to Arc Studio. Yeah, so I have explained these parts of the icons. Then the top left window is called the script window, the same as the script window that we saw in R GUI. The bottom left window is the console window, the same that we saw in R GUI. Then we have this window on our bottom right. First of all, go on files, start with files. Bottom right, no, it is bottom right, yeah. Files, this one, it displays just the files that you are having in your machine. Go to plots. Plots is where now, you remember we saw what you call a plot. We visualize some data and we are able to see a plot. So this is where it is normally displayed. Then go to packages. This window contains packages, and I said packages are functionalities that assist R to do more. Like if we have seen, if you want to do data visualization, you need a package called ggplot2. Data management, you have seen you need dplyr and so on. So this is where you can install and install. And when you install R, it comes with base packages. Then go to help. In help, you can get the resources and so on. Go to view. View there also, if you have a presentation, view and presentation, they work together. So I don't want us to like to I just want to give you a 5 minutes break, then we come back and complete early so that at least maybe you can uh, just take 5 minutes, we come back. Collins will continue sharing your screen so that we look at the window on our top right. We repeat whatever we did in Argui. Then after that, I'll be looking forward to hear more of your comments on your observations. So let us just proceed to the 5 minutes break and come back at that's 9:12 East African time. Yeah, just after 5 minutes, we come back. Thank you. Okay, please confirm if you are back. Okay. I think we can now continue. I hope Collins you are around.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. So there's one window that we haven't gone through, the one on our top right. Yeah, the first one is the environment. The environment window, what it shows, it is going to show us like whatever we are going to start doing in R, that is studio, it is going to be displayed there in the environment. That's what you call the working. It is almost like the working directory. Then also we have the history. Just go to the history. Uh, Based on the name, it just shows you what you have been working on in the past. All will be displayed there. Then there's this part called connections. Connections, as I said during our introductory class, I say that nowadays with the emergence of big data and so on, sometimes you might be required to link up to the database directly. That's where now the connections come. Maybe I can just showcase to you. Collins, you can click on new connection. Yeah, so when you click on new connection, it can prompt you either to connect on ODBC like database or Spark. Spark, we use it for big data, but ODBC database we use for normal database. Maybe click on ODBC. Yeah, just say yes, as long as your laptop is connected to the internet. Those are packages that are being downloaded. Just give it time. It is still running until the red button. You can see the red button that is indicated stop until it disappears. Yeah, don't stop it. So for you to download it, it must be connected to the internet. We will look into it. But for, yes, click on SQL Server. Yeah, so for instance, when you click to the SQL Server, your IT personnel will give you some access. Like we have some credentials that you will type here, like the password and whatever, the username. Then after that, you'll be able to access your server directly so that you are in a position to query the data in real time. So maybe this database will be refreshing after every 10 minutes and so on. So that is the purpose of that. Maybe you can cancel, just cancel. Then go to tutorial. Yeah, there you can get more notes. If you want to learn more, you can get there. Then there's something I haven't seen. Go to environment back. Yeah, on environment, there's this section written import dataset. When you click on import dataset, you see sometimes you maybe based on various data privacy issues in your organization and so on, maybe you cannot be given access to the relational database directly. So someone might download data maybe in form of Excel and they want you to import. So we will see two ways in which you can do so. The easiest one is this one. Just click on import. For instance, if it is a CSV Excel file format, when you click on text base, you go to your laptop and select the folder in which it is stored. Then after that, you'll be able to import your data. We will look at that. So that is the interface. I want us now to repeat whatever we did in Arc Studio, sorry, Arc GUI, but let us work just the script window. Hopefully, you can go to the script window, line number one of the script window. The script window is the one on our top left. Yes, line number one. Just type 1+1. So the beauty about this one, first of all, this window has numbers. Even if you make an error, I can just tell you go to line number one and do this, go to line number two and do this. So you have type 1+1. When we were running our code or executing our code in, it was which one? In RGUI, we used to type Control R. But now the beauty about Arc Studio, like in case you are not good at mastering those shortcuts and so on, it makes your life easier. I don't know if you can see Collins where it is written run. Yes, there. So team, I hope you can see where Collins is. When you click run or control enter in your keyboard, instead of R, maybe you can click control enter. It will give you an output in the console window. So maybe Collins, you can click run. Yeah, so you can see it has given us an output of 2 in the console window. I want us now to repeat the same thing we did on, let me confirm, come up with that variable called cells in the, maybe you can jump one line so that at least your work is organized. Yes, come up with that variable called cells, put that assignment operator, the same thing we did, then concatenate, that's concatenate, open bracket, what you call parenthesis, then type 10, 20, 10, comma, 20, comma, 30, comma, 40. Go to the next line, enter, type cost, same thing we did, assign, concatenate. It was, let me try to know what, it was 2, 4, 5, 6. Was it 8 really? Okay, it is immaterial. No, it was 5, 2, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, 6. But irrespective of what whichever, still we can get what we need because we are just demonstrating. Enter. Then now we want to plot. We want to plot cost plot. Just type the plot function. Yes, leave it alone like that. The beauty about Arc Studio, again, you see when you just type, a pop-up of functions comes. So that one means it can easily guide you. So when you see that, to make your work easy, and for instance, the plot we are looking at is the first one, in your keyboard, click on the tab key. The tab key in your keyboard, the key that is written tab, it is normally on your right, towards the right side. I don't know. For yours, Collins, the tab key, do you know where it is in your keyboard?
I'm trying to find it.
Okay. Let me try to take a photo and share in the group where it is. Okay, you can even select it instead of tab. The tab key is when you are used to it, but just select that float. Yeah. Then after that, we are plotting. We are plotting cost, comma, sales. Cost, comma, sales. Yeah. Then after that, I hope we are together. In case anyone is stuck, don't. You can just raise your hand, then we repeat. After that, now highlight from line number 3 to 5. After that, click the run icon. Yes. So when you click the run icon, you can see a window there that has your graph. If you want maybe to carry it somewhere else where it is written export in the graphics window, you can click there. You can save as an image, you can save as a PDF, you can copy and paste wherever you want, but that is not the objective. Okay, Cyprian is getting an error. I want you to share, Cyprian, share your screen so that I can show you how you can always try to, maybe you can stop sharing first, Collins, so that Cyprian shares his screen so that I can show you how we do troubleshoot the errors. Yeah, I think today the video will be okay because yesterday's video had issues. So, first expected error in cells. Yeah, the error in line number 4 code, after the assignment operator, you forgot to put the concatenate function, the C, in line number 3. Same error can be seen in line number 4. Have you seen it, Cyprian?
Maybe come again.
In line number 3, after cells,
Okay.
you did put the operator, well, that's the assignment, but the concatenate function is not there. This is small. So put it before the opening parenthesis. Same to line number 4. Then highlight everything and execute. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe Caleb, I see your hand is also up.
I'm trying to make sense of the concatenating in this regard.
Okay.
This is in reference to Excel.
Yeah,
So
this, yes.
what is,
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
trying to make sense. So how does it work here? So it's not making sense to me, other than perhaps that's just the code, the way the script is written,
Okay.
but it's not making sense.
So
So what are we concatenating? We are concatenating the numbers to be in sequence or to be in bundled or what?
it is putting them in bundle, there's something we are going to learn called the vectors. So what it does,
Okay.
it puts them together in bundles.
Okay.
Yeah. There's another hand from Chris.
My question is, what if you're not using the mouse?
In terms of maybe
No,
explaining further.
when you want to highlight.
Oh, when I think in your keyboard, if you are not using a mouse, I think are you using a laptop that has a touchpad? Are you using a laptop or a desktop?
A laptop that has a touchpad.
Yeah, I think I don't know how I can demonstrate it, but even in a laptop you can highlight, you can click. It has the what do you call, like if you click, yeah, you can use shift and arrows as Reina said, or towards your, how can I put it, towards in your touch pad, towards your bottom right, you can click, then drag, something like that. Like if you want to drag, it still gives you the same. Another alternative, maybe Collins, you can share your screen again. Collins. Yes, maybe click on line number 3 at the beginning of line number 3. So you can click shift in your keyboard, then the downward arrow. Collins, do that one, shift, then downward arrow together. Yes. So that's another way you can do it. Yeah, I think those are the alternatives. Again, you can execute line by line. Of course, that one can take a lot of time. So I don't know, Chris, has any work for you before we move?
Not quite.
So when in your keyboard, um, hmm, okay, maybe you can stop sharing, Collins. I show something. I try to use my whiteboard here. In your keyboard, if you press the shift key, I think, unless, are you using the Windows laptop, just a normal Windows laptop? If you
Yes, I am.
press, okay, thank you. You press the shift key plus, like together, this plus, we mean it together, with the downward arrow key, the one that in most laptops, it is like an inverted V. It's like a V. This arrow, this downward arrow key. Then, like you press, you long press, then it highlights everything. I don't know if that now works.
It's getting up to the second line and then get
Co-
stuck there.
no, continue until you reach the third line. Again, another, the control all, does it work?
No.
Let me see, control all. Yeah, even the control all will highlight everything. Yes, Michael.
He can use there are four arrows on all laptops, I believe. If he uses the forward arrow, okay, if he presses shift from the third line, then uses the forward arrow, it will select word by word until the last thing is supposed to select.
Yeah, whatever I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
Then now downwards.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Shift, you put your cursor, for instance, you can see where mine is. Then shift, you keep on pressing shift. Then this is the forward arrow. When you reach at the end, then now you press I think it's called the downward arrow until you
Okay.
reach where you.
Okay.
Thank you for
Let me keep
that.
trying.
Is okay now, please?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for your contributions. Collins, maybe you can now come back again so that we can wind up. Yes, Caleb, do you have a question?
I'm just wondering, is there a shortcut to toggle between the console and the script editor tab, or must you use a mouse?
Like, for instance, how we can navigate the Excel and so on.
Just now I'm at the editor. With the mouse, of course, I'll just point to the mouse to wherever part of the script I want, click, and it works.
Yeah,
Now, for this case, like what is being presented, of course, if I want to go below the plot cost on the console, I'll just take the mouse down and click. But is there a way you can play around between the displays?
I
Are they
think
called displays? What are these spaces called
the
now?
windows, this windows,
The
the total
windows, yes.
windows. I
Yeah.
have,
So is there a shortcut that you can use, or there isn't?
I can say maybe allow me to confirm that. I haven't used it or come across it, but allow me to
Okay.
confirm first before I can say there is or not. Maybe if you can allow me. There's somewhere I have the shortcuts. I don't know. Type go to file first, Collins. There's somewhere we do have shortcuts. I don't know if it's file. Mm-hmm. It's, there's somewhere I saw help, go to help, try help, but I came across that one. Shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts. Go there. Yeah, so maybe we will check on this later. I'll check on this later to see if there is any that works among those.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll check on that one. Maybe you can go back now. Just go back to, yeah. So the purpose of today's class was for us to see, because yesterday we said that yes, we have our GUI and we have our studio, and our studio is the integrated development environment. The purpose of this was for us to know how, like, the difference in terms of navigation, navigating the Arc GUI and the Arc Studio in IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So I want to come back to you as we are winding today's session. And first of all, I want to start from those who contributed during the first session, maybe one first before we give the rest. And I want to start from you, Hein. Does your statement still stand?
I would say this is definitely a much easier to use and gives a lot more functions and features, and definitely the auto complete for filling in functions definitely helps a lot. I would say though, this would be my strong suit since I have been a C++ developer for 6 years. So I'm quite familiar with coding and coding tools. So, and I mean Linux and stuff like that. So this definitely is my forte on working on stuff like this.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for that, Hein. Miss Mary, what can you say about the difference between ArcGUI and Studio in terms of the interface?
I find that if you are a beginner, it's easier to learn first through RStudio before going to ArcGUI because first of all, there's the suggestions. So if you're not exactly sure on, like for example, we had the plot, we clicked on plot and then it gave us different options that we would go for. So if you're not exactly sure, the options help you make a decision quicker, right? So if I'm a beginner, this one would be easier to start with more than the previous one.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Benson, you can close for us. Based on your own observation, we have gone through the interface of ArcGUI and also we have seen the interface of RStudio doing the same thing. What can you tell us about your interaction with both the two platforms?
I think for me, our studio look friendlier. And then the suggestion as well as it has some tabs, so you can work either with the keyboard shortcuts or you can just run directly. So I find our studio to be friendlier.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Caleb?
Just found the solution to the question. It's actually very simple. It's control either 1, 2, 3, and 4. Control 1 is the editor, control 2 is the console, control 3 is what is the thing called? Where we have the plots, and then control 4 is the second pane, top right.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Caleb, for that. Thank
Yeah,
you so
it
much.
was a simple Google. I didn't think I'll find it very fast like that, but yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I'll also check in case if we have it in the whatever Collins was displaying. It was on
Yeah,
the
anyone.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't check. I didn't know whether it's there or not, but yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much for that. Okay. I think for today we can end there. We were just looking at the interface, and I think we are now ready to start. I don't know if there's a question. Yes, Michael.
I wish to inquire in terms of the plots,
Yes.
the graph that has been generated.
Yeah.
Is that the final output, or within our studio we're able to edit maybe the background, maybe the font, just within the graph itself? Because
Yeah.
if you look in Excel, you've got different ways of modifying the graph to look more presentable.
Yeah. This is just a basic one. In fact, this is not even the function that we do use in plotting in R in data science. We use a package called ggplot2 that has more functionalities in terms of the beauty of the graphics and so on. So it can be modified and it can be done easily, like even without a lot of struggle with the
Okay,
library.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Chris, I see your hand is up.
I'm a bit decent in asking questions.
No worries, we are all learning.
Yeah, something I want to just find out. I see something that is so common that you have to do 1+1 fast. Why is that?
Okay. Basically, I was just showing the basics, like what is like in most cases, you find out that when people write hello world and so on in this programming language, you can as well write 5 times 5 and so on, but I think it's just the basic. But the objective of today's class was not even the codes that we are writing, because we are yet to cover them and we will be starting tomorrow. The objective was just to display, to know how you can navigate through various windows in Arc Studio and Arc GUI.
Yeah, the reason I asked that is because when I would try to do my code without 1+1,
Yes.
it would become very difficult for me now to do the highlights and selection. But when I do it 1+ with a few lines, it becomes easy even now to do the selection. I don't know if someone else had noted that.
That is Collins. Collins, go to line number 1 first. Like, okay, for instance, I don't know if I have understood your question. You see, in line number 1, we are only having one item that maybe we can run in isolation or execute in isolation. Maybe even Collins, you can edit it and put 5+5.
No, I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
if there was that syntax was not there, and I had my sales and the costing and the plotting coming fast, it
Yeah.
would be difficult for me to highlight. But when I do with something on the top, like the first two lines,
Mm-hmm.
to select the others becomes easy
Okay. Maybe Collins, let us just do it practically. Just
without a mouse.
Yeah, it's fine. And first, go to line number 1.
One.
I don't know if you can use a bar. Yes. Delete. Use a bar space in your keyboard. Yes. Then click Shift in your keyboard, then the forward arrow. Shift forward arrow. Yes. Yeah. Then downward. But yeah, it works. Unless maybe, Chris, I don't know where did you put your first the cursor. Just repeat it once more.
The
Uh,
cursor was in the last syntax in
Here
sales.
you can
Now
see,
going up.
okay, if you want to do like that, I think now let us see if it works. Come to line number 3, there where we have Collins cursor, right?
Yep.
The, if you go through that one, you have to press shift, then backward arrow. If I'm not wrong, try that, Collins. Shift, yes, backward before you go now. Upward arrow. Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Any other question, team? Any other question? Okay. So allow me to um, upload this recording so that I can share the link. So for today, don't save anything. We will start now saving tomorrow. Whatever we will be doing, we'll create a project and we will have now whatever we are doing being saved. So thank you all for joining us. Yes, Kelvin?
Just one last question.
Yes.
When writing the plot command,
Yes.
do you start with the dependent or the independent variable?
Um, when we are using the plot function, you start with the independent in this category because it randomizes. We haven't yet gone deeper, whereby you set maybe you give it what arguments like the y label or the y axis I want it maybe to be sales, the x axis I want it to be cost and so on. So in our case, cost is independent variable, then sales is dependent, but unless now you specify. But with 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 the current data science packages in R, we won't even be using the YLab that you set and so on. It has something like a template, a simple one. But for this case, because it is random, you start with the independent. The cost is independent variable, then self is dependent variable. Okay, thank you. Kelvin? Sometimes I try to avoid the technical terms before you go to statistics unit. So I'm very cautious when I'm handling the beginner level classes so that we don't scare anyone, but we don't have anything hard. In fact, as you progress further, it becomes more interesting than the initial units. Any other question? Okay, I think we can end here today. Yes, Eric? Eric, I see your hand is up.
All right. Hello, team. My name is Rick. I wanted to ask about, just in case we've done our good job in the next coming project, and for instance, someone want to change a laptop. How will we be backing up our data here?
Okay.
Do we need to push them into a GitHub or?
Yeah, you will be trained on GitHub later.
Okay.
Yeah, later. It is, I think, towards the end there on how you can put your codes in GitHub account so that you don't lose maybe your source code, especially when you start
Oh,
doing the
nice.
project, the end-to-end projects.
Yes, that's all right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. No worries. Any other question? Okay. Thank you all for participating in today's session. We are looking forward now to continue from tomorrow. Thank you so much, Collins, for sharing your screen and everyone who has contributed. And in case you haven't contributed today, we have a long way to go. We are looking forward to hearing each one of us input. We are all learning, and this is normal a nice session for all of us to learn in the process. Have a good night.